This one is, I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to click on that. It looks like a YouTube link, but who knows? And anyway, Bradley mentioned using content at scale, but in a previous video, I mentioned he's using Zimmwriter for all his content. What are the best practices for using each of these services? Yeah, I use Zimmwriter myself for all of the, and my entire link building team, which we've got 18 writers now. Fucking crazy. It's crazy. They're all using Zimmwriter. But for our money site content that we publish, and we have a blogger that, or a writer that does, and she's really more of anything now, she's more of an editor than anything, because Content at Scale produces most of our money site content now, and then it's human edited. She manages that. So Content at Scale is for money site content. That's what we use it for. For link building content. And by the way, you can use Zimmwriter for that. It just requires more direction, right? And Zimmwriter is fantastic, guys. It's my favorite by far. It is my favorite AI writing assistant app that I've ever used. Hands down. It's fantastic. I love it. My whole team loves it. But Content at Scale we use for money site content. You can use Zimmwriter for that if you develop your own outline and all that kind of stuff. But why I like Content at Scale is it makes it very efficient for us to produce really well done articles that are well researched, because you can add source URLs to the Content at Scale app, so that like you can say, like, use these source URLs as a reference point to build the content. So you can go in and feed it specific information that you want it to develop content for. You can probably do that with Zimmwriter. I just haven't learned how to do that, because Content at Scale, which is incredibly expensive, but it's great for money site content. And then again, my writer Esther, she's been working for me for, I think, since 2015, long time, maybe even longer. She's the one that manages all that. And so she goes into Content at Scale, creates the order, or the whatever, tells it what to do and what to produce. And then once it produces it, then she goes in and manually edits that and goes through a revision process with the client, the customer. She manages all of that. I don't have to mess with it. But for Zimmwriter, we use Zimmwriter for link building content. I use it personally for any content that I need to develop myself, just because I'm very comfortable using it. Oh, and by the way, I do use Content at Scale myself occasionally. I actually just generated 2 articles today. In fact, one of them was for, I got a tree service contractor client in Massachusetts, and apparently emerald ash borer is like destroying a bunch of trees up there. So he said he wants to put a page on a site for emerald ash borer. And so I said, okay, I'll develop an article for you. I went right to Content at Scale. I went to Google and I searched for emerald ash borer in Massachusetts. I extracted all the top relevant articles and PDFs from like Massachusetts Institute of Technology and things like that are all talking about emerald ash borer. I plugged all that in as the content. I hit go. About an hour later, I came back. I had a 2,200 word article, really well developed with references that cite the sources, tweets already embedded in it, and all that stuff. And I sent it to the client and said, here's the article that we drafted for you. What do you think? And he was like, wow, that's really well done. Content at Scale did that. And I didn't even really, I did a little bit of editing myself, but probably 15 minutes of editing, and that was it. So it's great. They're both great, just depending on what your needs are for and how much editorial, how much editing you want to do too. So that makes sense. Anyway, hopefully that's clear.